Well, hello, Kingsman. Welcome back. Hope you guys are all doing well, staying safe, and well rested and all that. A little more rested than before. I'm sorry about the delay for the videos, guys. Work's been kicking my butt, unfortunately, and work comes first, sadly. Not watching epic battles. I wish it came first, but you know. But today we are back, and we have a 4v4. This one sent in by The Noid. A 4v4 on Bladensburg, I do believe. Bladensburg. We have three French and one Sept Isles. I'm pretty sure that's short for something much longer, more complicated to say. But they're going up against a coalition of Russia, Prussia, UK, Portugal, and what was the last one? HRE, I do believe. Yeah, HRE way over here. I believe that's HRE. If I keep getting the Austrians and HRE mixed up, then man. Oh, we do have a bold move here as some Lancers are charging against some Dragoons, unfortunately. And they're going to get a beautiful charge bonus down on those Dragoons who were pushing up. This is why you leave your light cav up in front. So they may actually break those Lancers, but then they are going to get charged in return by some Dragoons of Russia, and they may not actually be able to make it out of there before they succumb to their losses of men, as they've lost quite a few, and Russia is closing in from several sides. We do have some more Dragoons and Hussars and Chasseurs pushing up to try to save this Dragoon unit. 28 men left, and they're going to charge in against those Dragoons. We try to flank them. We do have more Russian cav. Looks like some more Lancers and Gunning charging against more Dragoons, so France is going to be taking a bit of a beating here against the cav fight. And I think, honestly, Russia, they did not win, but I think they inflicted some losses here. Now, there is some more Dragoons from France rushing up here to support Spain. Russia, though, is just marching straight up. Looks like they have a lot of light infantry pushing up in the center here, taking this hill. A lot of light infantry, my goodness. I'm assuming this is all light infantry. Skirmishers as well, and it looks like some Russians on the right side here, more pushing up over this hill. Don't know where they're going. They also looks like they have their general and some more Dragoons pushing up. Yeah, look, there's the general right there. He's pushing up to the front lines. He's not scared of anything. He should be a little scared. I mean, there's a lot of French cav, and France, of course, is setting up in a beautiful position. So France's Spain is setting up in the center by the town. We have a left flank by France Prussia, I do believe, bringing maybe some Westphalians. Are these Westphalians, or are they just white coats? Italians. I do believe they can bring some Prussians, but they have some reserves. I do believe the Grenadiers of the Line. And they're going to be the reserve. They do have some artillery set up as well, 6-pounders, more line infantry, and they're actually shifting way over here, and actually some light infantry way up here. So we have 3 sets of light infantry, no drums, and then of course some hussars kind of to screen them. The UK Portuguese pushing up already. Russia is definitely very intent on advancing. I'm not sure how far they're going to get before they're going to stop, but they should not attack until their ally attacks. HRE, and that's what I'm going to go with, because that's not the Austrian flag, I don't think, are pushing across the river here, so that's going to be a problem for France. If they coordinate the attack with Prussia pushing here and HRE pushing here, they could surround the French before the rest of the French reinforcements, the Russian center, and Sept Isles push up. So right now, there's basically only 2 French armies. Of course, there's the Russian center army, Cav, who's pushed up Hussars and the like such, but as you can see, not a whole lot happening yet. There is some artillery from Russia. Looks like some 12-pounders who are going to set up on this road. You can see there's been some hard hits by the artillery of France and the Sept Isles. Beautiful position, actually. This is a guerrilla artillery piece. I do believe that's bigger than a 12-pounder that's set up there in the back lines, as well as some 8-pounders. So France is looking to be very defensive here. My only concern, like I said, is this flank here. There's, of course, river and trees to stop the HRE from able to advance very rapidly. but they are going to definitely still be able to advance, and there's nothing stopping them from taking this left flank. And as you can see, there is some HRE cav. Looks like some Lancers pushing up already here, so that is a concern, as France is going to have to push up. Now, of course, we look at the comp of the reinforcing army. You see a lot of, honestly, lower class infantry here. There's some skirmishers, but a lot of Greek uniforms here, mixed in, of course, with some of the French, and the French are bringing quite a large reinforcing army here. They will probably be able to push to this right flank, or allow this Spain to shift over to the right and take the center. It looks like Russia may actually be pushing up here. There's some cav charging in. We have a huge Lancer charge here. So we'll see how many losses were taken by the Lancers. I don't see a ton. And they have pushed back the first of this light cavalry, and I don't see a whole lot of French cav to react. Oh, there is some right over here. We have some Hussars watching the flank. They may have some more Hussars pushing up to support that side. Artillery setting up. Look at this. All getting ready. Lancers as well. So France is definitely starting to consolidate. You can see these Carbineers, Grenadiers. So basically their melee capable infantry are moving up here because it is a Russian army they're facing. Of course, there is the UK pushing up. Looks like they are advancing in some longer lines, and they have been coming under artillery fire from the French position, the 8-pounder. Looks like we have some cavalry support, dragoons and hussars, as well as 3 of the lights. And hopefully UK don't make a mistake and sit milling around here, letting our men be beaten back by artillery. That would be disastrous for them. We do have skirmishers pushing up down this area. This is going to be a difficult place for the Russians to assault. I hope they wait for the Prussians, at least, to push through and hit them on the flank, forcing them to have to reform here, and then Russia pushes up while they're trying to reform. That is the most ideal situation I think the coalition could do, and they could easily throw it away if Russia attacks separately, gets beaten back, and then HRE and Prussia push over after the Russians have been destroyed. If Russia attacks here, I'm predicting they will lose. Now, the UK are so isolated away, they could easily take this flank. They got plenty of squarables. They have some great shooting. If they don't throw it away. Now, I do see some Prussian cav charging the guns here. And I don't think there's any line infantry that's going to be able to stop them from getting chewed up by cav. Now, of course, this Prussian light cav, hussars, is going to break. Well, no, maybe not. Maybe they'll get away. No, they're not. But France is taking on the... Look at this, though. Look like... Okay, there's charging. I was like, oh, I'm missing a cav engagement somewhere. So the UK are doing something that is probably not going to do too well for them. You can see the guys getting focused down. They have the flank from France. They are focusing on one area, and actually, whoa, they broke the cav of France. Broke some dragoons, and they can form squares, so Hussars shouldn't even do anything about that. They just probably were caught out trying to deal with this artillery way over here. Let's take a peek over here where Russia is engaging here. They have skirmishers pushing up. Watch out for that French cav to take out your skirmishers. Prussia is now pushing across. I think France is beginning to realize their dilemma. They are spread over a vast area, and they maybe don't need to. They, of course, have some reserves. That is good to see. Now, on this side, the UK are just shredding them up. This is what happens when you don't get into melee against the UK over an extended period of time. You can see they are losing some of their best light infantry and some of their cav to the UK. UK player knowing how to attack here. And now they're having to divert more troops. The UK should swing around the other side of this rock and hit the flank. As you see, the UK are actually forcing the French to divert more reinforcements over to the other side. Now, we do have some skirmishers who got destroyed, I suspect, probably by artillery fire. Russia is pushing up using the tree line, possibly. Now they are walking right in front of the guns here. I think they're trying to take them out, but bide your time. You don't have to march right up to the guns. Oh, these guys aren't even... You can't even see these guys. They're hidden still. So they're picking off this artillery piece. Same time, Prussia is pushing over, as well as the HRE. So this is a concerning flank that I am sure France is going to... Yep, they're already diverting those long columns to try to prevent a massive flank, as the Prussians are easily about outweigh, along with the HRE, outweigh this flank. And I like how the coalition did not attack by all this artillery. This artillery is stuck here for a little bit at least. Now you can see the UK trying their best. In fact, doing a beautiful job of forcing back the French. Stay away from them, but shoot them, if that makes sense. So if you see them advancing too close, you fall back. They have some square bowls, keeping the French cav from being able to wreak havoc. You can see they are shredding this side. Oh my gosh. See, this is a little too close. The French are... Wow. The French are getting shredded by those machine guns here of the UK, as they call it. But now over here on this side, we do have, I do believe, the elite. These are probably the Toros. Doing their part for king and country. They are breaking the French in mass. They're just mass routing. You see the morale is being affected by this. And there's Russians over here. So Russia's spreading a decent area. Now we do have some line infantry that are charging the Russians, possibly. They are going to take some losses, though, as they're going point blank against some skirmishers. Prussia... You know, maybe they should hold their position, but I have a concern about Prussia. So Prussia has one long line. I don't see any reserves yet. That is usually the sign of a newer player, and that's bad. If you have no reserves, it can be very bad. Now there's some Lancer Cav, I think, or some Chevaliers that are getting charged here by the French. The HRE may have a little overcommitted, and they're getting run down by some Ulanen. They may lose this massive Chevalier unit. France is forming up to meet the HRE and Prussians, so they have lost that angle. But the UK guys still have a very good edge here. You can see they have broken quite a lot of the French here, advancing with these massive, thick boys. Man, these must be Coldstream Guards or something. These guys are shredding. The UK player is doing a beautiful job thus far in just destroying the French here. They are just forming up, firing. They have such good reload skill. They're going to shred these light infantry before they even get to really utilize. Look at this. They're dropping like flies. They're barely getting a volley off before they're just getting chewed up, and France is just continually falling back. They use their artillery maybe, but here comes the Russians. Oh my gosh. And Prussia. So Russia in the UK and Prussia kind of look like they snuck up here. And in fact, looks like France is losing over here too. Russia is just hitting the flank. They have split the coalition or the Imperials up. Now France does have a beautiful reserve line here. They have plenty of reserves, but they're going to have to present like the Septiles over here. Because France may be getting totally surrounded by the French, who just surprised by not the French, the Russians, because Russia is able to surprise the flank.
Are running, sir.
And honestly, the UK seem to be doing a decent job here. Now they can't get too close, and they don't want to lose too many units out of this line. At the same time, you also don't want to get bayonet charge, which is what's happening right here. Oh no, this may be the beginning of the end. These are grenadiers. The French are going to win that easily. So the UK need to stay back, like I was saying, guys. Stay back, keep doing what they're doing on this flank. Keep just shooting them away. Now, I do believe these may be the elites of the UK, so maybe with some reserves, they may actually
Our men are running,
push them back. Russia easily pushing the French position. Now we do have, whoa, what is this? Russia in the lines here with some light infantry, taking out some artillery. They are going to get charged by some cavalry, some dragoons, which they're going to break. Russia definitely looked like, I thought Russia was right here. The majority of their army is actually way over here. So, well done on their part. Prussia doing what they also do best, which is shooting. They have some really good reload skill. The HRE are not attacking here. In fact, they don't have to attack. They can be defensive and let the combat kind of trickle from the side here. France charging down, trying to deal with the flank of Russia here. As Russia now has Cav trying to support that side. The UK are starting to break here as those Grenadiers are doing a beautiful job of kind of counter-attacking here. They have broken several of the UK units. Let's see if these guys can get a volley in before... Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They are going to get a volley. And that is going to hurt the French quite a bit. You see they broke one of them and they're going to charge the other. Portuguese units in here as well. We may have some... oh, wow. There's some some French cav back here. Kind of actually making a real problem for the UK. Russia and France clashing here. A lot of cav charging Russia. Russia's Achilles heel is definitely the cav. They cannot really hold a candle to any cav for that matter. Over here, it looks like France maybe actually regaining the initiative here. Pushing up, trying to separate Prussia and the HRE. In fact, even attacking over on this side. HRE need to reform, maybe divert some more reinforcements here. They have a huge gap they need to push on it. And like I said, guys, this is why you need reserves. Prussia should have some reserves here because now they have to readjust their entire line. France is counterattacking and they may still save the day here. Over on this side with Russia kind of broken a little bit. Although France is definitely pretty weak here, so the UK is still a very strong force to be reckoned with as these light infantry are breaking. It's going to cause a mass rout. These guys are going to waver and break too. So the UK is still very strong, pushing back. Ooh, little fimming going on, possibly some firing in melee. Russia needs to get in melee on this side if they want to win. There's some cav trying to protect that French army from losing. On this side, we had to have a French push here, so they are protecting their flank. They have some reserves, some grenadiers, some melee-capable troops. HRE forming up. I don't like to see a massive line mason. This is how I used to play. You need to see how the French are kind of controlling the units in groups of 2s and 3s. That's how you want it. You don't want to have a whole line and readjust. You want to grab 2s, especially with big units like the HRE. You want to grab a couple units at a time. Now, they do have enough troops that they could start trying to flank the French. France also needs to watch out because they aren't getting into melee. Wow, look at this huge unit of Landwehr, sorry. But they need to watch out because Prussia can still outshoot them if they aren't careful. Granted, either way, this is going to be a very long fight. Both sides are going to take a very long time to shoot. What do we have here? We have some... French cav trying to run down the enemy. Russia is just, and along with the UK, are just rolling the French on this side. France is closing up in this house at this point. Then we have a couple units left, so the flank has been killed. But the coalition needs to move fast if they wish to make a significant blow to this flank here. Because Sept Isles is actually pushing over their units. Honestly, they aren't needed over here. I think France is doing pretty well, actually, so far. There's only 18 minutes into this replay. We have 40 minutes left, and this battle, I would say, is almost halfway over. We do have a couple units here. We have some line infantry of France, as well as some of the, looks like equivalent of Landwehr. Oh, what?
Now they must break.
Oh, what? The Prussian general? No. No, they killed the Prussian general. Oh no, Prussia. And see, now Prussia is suffering here. In fact, they're stretching themselves way too thin here with some of their guard. Keep those guys in the back to inspire the morale. Don't put them in the front lines shooting. We do have possibly some cav pushing some carabiniers. They're going to hit a square, though. Oh, they're going to hit a square. Oh no, don't. You're going to... Oh no.
Our men are running, sir.
They're going to lose those heavies, most likely. HRE not doing too hot. I'd say that the coalition is not doing so good this side. They have done overwhelmingly well on this flank. There's still some French cav in the back lines. You can see some possibly some Prussian cav that's going to get charged here by some hussars. They've lost that building. So now the UK and Russia are going to start pushing over here, trying to do what they can to defeat. It's going to be up to the Sept Isles, I think. to hold them back while they defeat the Prussians and HRE. We still have that cav in combat here, but we do also have some line infantry here. They should bayonet charge these line infantry into the HRE. Oh, this is grenadiers. Okay, maybe not. There's a lot of grenadiers I see from France. And these heavy cav are still in the fight, but they're exhausted here. I'm probably not going to do too much. And yep, those grenadiers charged in against line infantry. Get that beautiful grenadier charge bonus. So France needs to not overextend themselves. Oh wow. They did go for bayonet charge, and they are going to break Prussia. Definitely, easily going to break Prussia here. So Prussia needs to reform. Watch out, as that morale debuff is going to be a problem. They need to reform, reorganize, pull these units back immediately. In fact, they should fall totally back. I think the coalition should fall back and wait for this to happen, because this is coming rather quickly. The UK have a very fast mobilization, so I think they should fall back. Have the Russians try to hold while the Prussians fall back and don't mass charge. What are they doing? Why are they charging? Fall back, save your army. They are charging everything into this one French army. The HRE are still holding it pretty well, I'd say. This area was hotly contested. You can see the French have been beaten back by those grenadiers. HRE gonna have to fall back because they're gonna get surrounded here. Prussia is just throwing it away. They are charging everything in here. I don't know why they're doing this, but this is not what you do. You do not do this. First of all, you do not do a whole long line. You keep reserves for this very instance where they charge in. You can throw reserves in, but also this is just giving the French free kills. So either they dropped or they're just, you know, unfortunately doing a very terrible charge into the French, and they're going to lose all of this because your units start debuffing and it starts making all your men rout. And Prussia is just going to lose their entire army. Which means they can react to crushing the HRE, or they can push over here, and that is sad. That's unfortunate because Russia and the UK have done so well on this side. Granted, they have a lot of cav they're trying to deal with. And that's making it very miserable for them. So I think the Imperials may win this just because of this huge break by Prussia. Prussia just mass routed, and the HRE may last a lot longer, but they're about to have way more reinforcements being pushed up on them. I like how many Grens they dropped, though. And look at this. And they're doing pretty well here. Now they are starting to fall back, as they should. They don't want to get surrounded here. They have some cavalry. They're holding this tree line. They've fought very hard for it, but they're unfortunately gonna have to start falling back. Very unfortunate. Like I said, they were holding pretty well. But you see now Prussia is going to be ignored because they're gone, and France is going to shift over to reinforce this side. The UK are going to do what they can, but they are going to run out of forces too, and there is a massive French army, or a bunch of cav, and reinforcements pushing over to support them. Now they are doing what they can, and they are breaking more French. But I don't think it's going to be enough, sadly. They are going to... yeah, they're starting to lose some of their units. I don't know where the general is, but they have some more units in the back. Russia has a couple more. It was such a beautiful... I loved that push they had. It did really well. Russia just reinforced, came out of nowhere. I was not expecting that. But you can see they're starting to lose. So it's gonna be a GG's with... Well, it's 35 minutes remaining in this replay. The HRE, as well as some of the Prussians, are falling back. They're probably going to try to take some more decent ground here. That means that France can divert even more troops over to dealing with the UK and what's remaining of Russia. And you see, yeah, even these troops are pushing up here. Look at these guys. They don't even have drums. They have nothing. The officer, wow. This officer has this big old sword. Yeah, these guys are gonna reinforce the flank, stop the UK. We're trying to push for the flank, ever constant. Now there is some Russian troops here. These guys are gonna be surrounded. They're gonna start dropping, and they're probably gonna die. Poor Russia. They did what they could. couple Prussians here as well. Now, there are some Prussians left. Like, they're getting focused down by some arty. Prussia is a delicate faction to play. They have some very low morale. You have to be careful about, what is it called? When troops around, when Prussian troops start breaking, it causes other troops in the Prussian army to start breaking, if that makes sense. So it causes cumulative or surrounding debuffs. So if Prussia, that's how you defeat Prussia, is if you start routing a troop or two, you gotta go for the throat at that point. And you can mass route them just because of morale, not because you're inflicting heavy losses. Now the UK are gonna have so many kills at the end of this, just because of the machine gun. I mean, I guarantee you they have the most kills out of all the factions here. We have some Portuguese possibly getting charged. Can they form a square? I don't think they could. But the UK are going to have a last desperate stand here, and they are probably going to defeat quite a few of the attacking troops here. Look at this. They're just chewing up. These green rascals are just chewing up these units. We're not able to fire as fast. I think he keeps thinking he's goading them into forming square, and I think he doesn't realize yet that they can't form square. So, the UK are going to get surrounded here. The HRE have not fought yet, so we're going to keep an eye on this. Oh yeah, they can form square. What do you know? I'm still just interested to see how many units the UK can actually kill here, because they are killing it, quite literally. They even have troops in the back here that are going to start taking out more of the septi. Now, granted, this is some cheaper line infantry that they bring. But the UK, my gosh. Well done. Win or lose, the UK did very well. I like how Russia was playing on both sides, too. I haven't seen... the HRE were doing well. Obviously, they had a fallback. There's still some Prussians left. So, they can still be a thorn in the side of the Imperials.
This building has fallen to the enemy.
My goodness, look at how the UK is driving them back here. The UK is just too much for them. What a brave stand they are making here. Absolute heroes. They all deserve the Victorian Cross. I know Victoria didn't exist yet, but, you know, if anyone was to deserve something, it's not posthumously, it's, well, technically it would be, because he could award them that later, after they died, but, I don't know what the word would be. They deserve it, though. They deserve every reward given. They are holding against beautiful, large odds here. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. Russia is trying to push over here where the HRE are going to desperately hold. They do have plenty of grenadiers, in fact. I think they have a lot of Grens. They have some Austrians mixed in, it looks like, with the HRE. Unless they're all Austrians somehow. But see, the Austrian flag doesn't look like this. That's the HRE, at least from 8.9. So... the UK are trying their best. I think they're... oh, wow. So they did break another UK unit with their cav. They are closing ever tighter the noose around the UK. Not going to be easy for them to take out this UK faction unless they go in. See, France should be trying to close with these units for a melee. That's what they should be doing. Advance your units. Push up, push forward the lines. Push the forwards, you know, push them up. Just keep going. Don't give up. They don't have enough troops to face you all. Because look at this. They keep chewing up one line, and then you push up, and they turn and face you, and they chew you up. Like, don't fall for the UK trap. That's exactly what they're doing. They're letting the UK turn and face units here and there. Now the HRE are getting attacked on this side. I'm curious what they're going to do. They look like they're falling back. I don't even know where the HRE all are, but France seems a little hesitant now to attack. Russia's resting, and they may actually re-engage, which is why France is actually staying here, I think. Which is interesting. What is this? I saw Demi Brigade. Interesting. See, now the UK are getting focused by artillery, and here comes the noose. Hopefully, because France is actually running out of troops, and so is the Septiles. They do not have a lot, and the UK keep advancing towards this position. France needs to not stop. They need to keep pushing. They need to surround them. Push up every direction all at once, and they aren't. They are letting the UK once again slip from their grasp. This is a tough position, actually, to have to take. There's a lot of high ground, a lot of buildings. All these guys can form square. They're going to, yep. These hussars for the HRE are going to push to the side there to see who can and can't form square. Oh, there's a general even here as well. Now, France has plenty, of square balls. So they're actually trying to force the French into a square and charge it with some grenadiers. Oh, wow. Okay, France probably was not expecting this to happen. In fact, more Cavs charging over here, breaking more of the French. They may have caught the French up. Oh my gosh, they may have caught the French out. And they charged in, going for a general as well as line of tree. They could not form square. This is a huge play here. This could really tell as the French are breaking against those grenadiers, and now they're going to go in. Can the general get away? He did. But France just lost a ton of units. Even over here, too, they lost against the HRE. HRE, beautiful, beautiful attack by the HRE. And Prussia's pushing up here, too, which is why France is going to have to push up reinforcements. Because, wow, the HRE just smashed without losing a single unit. They just smashed through this right flank of France. And now maybe if Prussia can put some pressure on the French to make them have to stay here, they can really push them up. The UK are still fighting. My goodness, they are not giving up. After losing basically an entire faction, an entire ally, the coalition was like, yeah, we don't need them. We're going to keep playing. And of course, Prussia has come back with some of their troops, but they are not giving up. The UK, HRE, Prussia, Russia. I mean, Russia, I don't know where they are. I don't see a whole lot of Russia left. But they are not giving up, and they just burnt some. Some French got burnt who got a little too close here. Oh, is there more cav forming up? Oh, they're just trying to probably break some of these troops to keep them from coming back. So the HRE taught them not to get too close. And now they're going to push up more line infantry, and France is going to have to push in their reserves. So if by some miracle the UK can win on this side, then it's going to be a problem. Although I see some Cav charging in against the UK, who did form square. And these guys are going to take some losses here. The Hussars taking some losses. More Cav, more infantry possibly pushing in. I think the UK may be at their last breath. They may not, they just don't have enough. They are trying to push up, maybe outshoot this French line with what's left of their troops. I don't know what they're doing, but they're going right into the shooting line. On the other side, HRE are defending as the French are pushing up here. In fact, even going for the house. We do have some reinforcing HRE troops just waiting. They're also holding this hill. They have some skirmishers here. We have some HRE Cav pushing up some Chevaliers, making the Septiles go into square. They can also start pushing up with those Grens, you know, start bayonet charging once again. France is getting close, so they may be trying to go for a bayonet charge. I would not be surprised. Just be careful when you time that bayonet charge, because Oh, they could take a huge volley if the HRE get a fire in time. I see men dropping. I don't see enough dropping, though, actually. Yeah, I think the HRE are going to lose here. They're not good at melee. They have a general nearby and some cav nearby, but I don't think they're going to make it. We have cav pushing it behind the French, though. Oh, France broke. Charge this square. If they charge the square, they could break them. The HRE holding beautifully. Man, the coalition is not giving up. Now, looks like the UK have finally been charged here by just surrounding odds. I mean, they got charged in the back by the Septiles, by cavalry from some Chasseurs Cheval. We had some dragoons. So I think the UK finally, after taking down tons of French, they are finally down, and it is up to the HRE and some Prussians who are left, maybe some Russians that are left. But HRE have broken the second, I believe, attack the French have made to this hill. And in fact, France is even looking a little weak here. Prussia is still here. They got some of their guard units, some light infantry. Not going to make it very easy. They also had, I don't know what's in this house.
This building has fallen
Possibly
to
some
the enemy.
guard, I don't know, some fusiliers maybe. But France just broke in this left flank, so now the HRE are able to push up and take this side. It's going to be up to the French on the other side to push up. This battle has been close, and looks like we have some Russians. I don't know if there's line infantry here, but there are some Russians in the center now. The battered remains of this French and Septiles army pushing over to reinforce this side. The HRE are making it pretty tough on the coalition, or on the Imperials, sorry. And France is actually going to possibly fall back here, reform, arrest their troops, wait for some reinforcements, and then move with a final, probably, attack here to make this attack deadly enough. Because over here, they're actually losing here too. Look at this. These grenadiers are going to be going in. There's nothing they can do. These grenadiers actually looking a little bit... Oh, they're getting shot in the face, though. More grenadiers going in. With these squares, it's actually going to be a little tough. HRE may actually lose. Yeah, they did. They lost big, unfortunately, just because the square was able to keep firing and firing and firing. These infantry paid off in the end. And look at this. We have the Russian general going against artillery. Granted, he may, die here, but he's going to take out this artillery piece. We also have some Russians getting charged by some dragoons. We do also, I believe, have Russians in the house. Artillery as well, looking the wrong direction, and they're going to finally get defeated by some hussars. I think this battle is going to start coming to a close here. In fact, we're going to fast forward just a little bit here, if I can. Yeah, we're gonna fast forward a little bit here. Go. Russia is France is going to reform here, let the rest of the coalition rally around this house, and then they're probably going to push in just a second here. We had to skip to that part, so I'll see you guys probably in a second. Alright guys, so we have these two line infantry who are kind of just on their own here, but they are not giving up, and they are attacking the HRE flank here after breaking 3 of those grenadier units of the HRE. They are here still. And they have some crazy good reloading and firing. You can see how fast they are firing here along this line, and it does not even come close to how fast these guys are firing. They definitely have the firepower here. They have the power. The rest of the army's still pushing up, so like I said, unless these yeah, they're gonna fall back. So we'll skip ahead once more. as they're going to fall back and wait probably for their ally. All right, guys, this is the final advance. It looks like we have the Russians, or the French. Well, I don't keep calling them the Russians. I don't know why. Maybe it's my brain. My brain is just not functioning well, apparently. It's too tired. Russia is advancing now. HRE are going to probably consolidate here. In fact, it looks like they are trying to push out and deal with this this whole bunch of troops here. Yeah, there's more Chevaliers in the back here from the HRE. But Prussia is holding the front with 3 units here. I'm going to fast forward here because they are advancing. See how they're putting them in, you know, groups of a couple. Now, you probably would want to break them into, you know, 2 here on the flank, 3 here. The 4 is good, then 2, and then 3, or 3 and 2. I'm just saying, in this situation, it's fine. But for like an actual battle, you want to group them up. It makes them a little easier to manage, and you can turn and face a little more of the flanks here. The HRA are pushing back. I think they got distracted trying to take on
their general, sir. Now they must
other
break.
units, but now the French are going to push up, and here is only a couple Prussians here. Granted, there are some guard units here, and light infantry, and then of course some HRE. Ooh, oh wow, that was a beautiful charge here. Those dragoons are trying to clean them up rather quickly here, and they are doing just that. We do have some infantry that are wanting to go for a bayonet charge here. The HRE may actually try to bayonet charge or cav charge these guys while they're not in square, and they do just that. So they finally dealt with those pesky line infantry, but it may be too late here as the HRE are not on the hill. Prussia just mass routed, and the HRE are now going to be stuck out of position on the lower ground here. As you can see, their cav getting broken. Their infantry are now going to push up with what's left, and this battle's about to come to a close as France finally victoriously is going to start steamrolling. Look at that. Well played, though. I did love the plays on both sides. Excellent managing of the armies. That flank that the UK had almost worked. If Russia hadn't gotten charged by that cav, I think they would have no-turned the flank, but France was very wise in how they set their cav up. We got some Swiss Grenadiers. Very nice. Yeah, these guys, it looks probably pretty bleak for them. Everywhere you look, there's like hundreds of units firing at you. That'd be so moraling. It'd be such a morale drop. If you look to your flank, there's some. You look to your front, there's some. There's everyone's firing at you.
We have taken the building, sir.
Well, I'm gonna fast forward here because this is it. This is it, and the HRA are not giving up even now. But there's been a charge. Okay, this is it.
We have taken the building, sir.
Their moment. And hopefully there are no more scattered units here. So the general's the last one to break here.
A glorious victory, sir.
Oh, that was it.
Soon to be yours.
Yeah. So, like I said, this one was sent in, I believe, like it was, the Noid was what he was called on Discord. So thank you for that. It was very enjoyable. You can see, let's see, where's the UK? Enemy killed 15. They killed more than anybody else. That's what I thought. I thought they would. They killed 1,500 men. HRE got 1,000, and then 700 for the Russians and Prussians. Now, on the other side, we have 12, 12, and 11, so the French definitely did very well there. Master, I think, was the one who dealt against the UK at the very beginning and definitely lost big there. Yeah, very good battle. Let's see the max kills here. 129 with the Grenadier. Oh, the Grenadiers had to do work there. You can see they got the most kills. That's how you have to do with France. You have to bring the Grens and use them. And actually, that's a lot of Grens here. But anyway, guys, that's it for me today. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed. Like I said, sorry for the delays in videos. It's going to be like that for maybe a little bit until I kind of get my schedule set again. So until next time, you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, and I'll catch you all in another video.